Hi everyone, Christopher here, and welcome back to another episode of Fossil Forward Finds. We are going to do another Albany album haul. This is album number 24. We're not going to run through the numbers this video. We'll save that for a future video. But I got my new Deltiologist shirt on. This is one of my own designs. You can get it over on Amazon. That's what I got on the screen here. It's the title there under the Fossil Forward Finds brand. I'll have the link down in the description below if you're interested. Comes in different colors, and then there's, you can get the logos and as well all sorts of different products. So if you're interested, don't feel like you have to or anything. But if you're a postcard person, have at it. All right, let's get into this album because I scanned it so long ago, I already forget what's in it. All right, since it's been a little bit, a little quick refresher, or if you're brand new to the channel, this is album number 24 out of 69 that I picked up at a Albany estate sale, Albany, New York, that is, estate sale last summer. I've been slowly going through the album, sharing it with you. If if I was not doing this whole sharing process and number tracking, I could get through these a lot faster. Um, but I like showing to you. I think it's interesting to see how the numbers play out. I paid roughly $50 per album. So yeah, let's get into this one here. We always start off with the standard size cards. So here we got one. Let's see, Mount Manitou in Colorado. Looks like some sort of ride of sorts. Doesn't look safe. Where are we going? All right, yeah, there's the back. Highest and longest railroad of the kind in the U.S. So let's see. Part of the Pikes Peak area. Okay. And then put this one next because this is actually a real photo postcard version of it, which is really neat. Zoom in. We got soldiers here, men and women in uniform, which is awesome. So I will have to. I always do as much research as I can on the real photos, but I have to see if I can figure out the regiment or branch or whatever. But that's really cool. This might be the best card in the batch, but we will find out. I don't know how common real photos from this location are, but I'm sure most of them don't have military personnel on it. Looks like 1943. Yeah, you can see the back. On my screen, it's a little washed out, but yeah. So EKC back stamp box on that one. So yeah, we'll do a few real photos here. View of Oceano from somewhere. South. I don't know. I don't know. South Pacific Railroad tanks. I don't know. Tracks. I'll have to look it up as always. But an interesting scene nonetheless. We got the trains here. Um, Oceano's marked there. Little sign, can't read that one. Horse-drawn carriage. What we got going on back here? Some sort of signage or fencing. I don't know. Really cool scene overall. Anything on the back? No. Blank back. As far as is not used, that is. Right. Real photo flowers, hand tinted. Nothing too exciting there, but it is a pretty one. Bunfet. Happy birthday. Got a little creasing there, but not too bad. This one is a little bit of writing on the back. Bunfet again. And I'm not sure. It's I'm blanking. My French is rusty. Another real photo. Got some sort of flag there. Can't make it out. Maybe Oklahoma? No. Maybe. Let's see. Anything on the back? Well. Anyways, we got a mule team here pulling a cart. Man and son, and this one is identified as James Brown and Earl something. Um, And then with Church's team, I don't know. Interesting card nonetheless. Obviously, I like the real photos. This one I like. This is another real photo. Uh, some sort of ice jam, ice disaster. I'm assuming uh, went off the bridge, but certainly not supposed to be there. You can see all the slabs of ice there. We'll have to figure out what that says. I'm assuming something bridge. But, yeah, there's some more information on the back here. Looks, yeah, Netherlands perhaps. Sent to New York. So, interesting. Church scene. I'm just muting my phone here. Church scene. Looks European. But beyond that, I am not sure. I'll Google Lens it to see if it is identifiable. But if not, it's still probably a $15 card or so on its own. Let's see. So, do got a little bit of identification on the back there, but street scene. So you got clothes and towels and stuff out on the line, and then folks walking, playing. Nice scene overall. It's nice that it's identified on the back. Nothing too fancy though. Alrighty, we got a statue of Minerva. Museum mentioned there in Rome. Not used. Those the statues do sell. Probably more like $10 would be my guess. I'll look it up to be sure, but that would be my knee jerk. Alrighty. Cards are out of order here. All right, another statue, Valkyrie. Definitely a dynamic scene there. Not sure where specifically, but should be easy enough to figure out. Nice little scene here. Looks like perhaps a smoking volcano going on in the back there. I'm not sure where off the top of my head, but we will do some research as always. Google Lens might be able to help narrow it down based on the island topography there. This is a nice scene. I like it. And that might be my answer too. I don't know what it means, so find out. And it looks like perhaps the same volcano, different view though. The same studio mark down here. Yeah, that's cool. Always tempted by the volcano ones, but I only keep some here or there. This one does have some image loss up top, but nothing too serious. And then same back as the other. All right. Some sort of house. Not sure if it will be identifiable. Probably not. There's nothing written on the back of this one either. But a nice little house garden scene. Be worth more if I could identify the location. But alas, another house, another front steps. Not sure if it's the same house. Yeah, it might be. Anyways, two houses. All right, that I believe was it for the real photos in this set. No, actually, this one is a real photo as well. It even says so on the bottom. But a lion cub, cute as a button. Got its ball there, San Diego Zoo. This one is used. Dear Grandma message. You can pause it if you would like to read it. All right, I've done that sort of. Let's see. McAfee's Knob in Virginia. I haven't been to that location, and I don't usually dangle my feet. I do have a little bit of self-preservation instincts, but a nice scene. See the cancellations bled through to the front, unfortunately, but interesting card nonetheless. Like rocks. undivided back, sent from Lynchburg, Virginia in 1907. And there is some information about the location there if you're interested. Oh no, we're upside down. But we got some roses, true love, a little poem there, heavily embossed. Is postally used, 1910. Nice, pretty suitor card. Got a young gentleman there and a pretty young woman sitting on a bench there. Another rose poem, also embossed with some gold gilting around the edging. Divided back there. Not entirely sure. Some sort of Asian card. It says this is not a laundry ticket, nor a mark they put on teas, but pleasure, comfort, joy, and ease is my wish for you in Japanese. Okay, so it's a Japanese card. Helps when I read things. I've never had one of those before, so I couldn't even venture a guess. But the different Asian cards can do well. Usually I do better with old China or really old Japan, but we shall see. There's the back on that one. Happy Days and Mini. Okay, so just another embossed greetings card. Looks like it's maybe for Christmas with all the hollies there. Yeah, it was certainly sent for Christmas and birthday. So there you go. Duckies. Duckies and a puppy. And a bone? Maybe? I'm just going to leave that alone. Very young ducklings, but yeah, Eastertide, it looks like it says in the corner there. So Easter card, a little late. This is a tux, actually. But actually, I sold just as many Easter cards after Easter as I did in the run-up to Easter, so I list my holidays all year long. Little pennant card. Pennant cards can do well, but usually they have a location associated with them. This one is just a printed card with a little poem on it. But show me a man who makes no mistakes, and I will show you a man who doesn't do things. No notes. I got no notes. Let's see. Sent from Maine, 1914. A couple more, and then we'll take a little break here. Looks like an apple tree. Embossed, but nothing else to say about that one, really. A little discoloration on the back, but not too bad. Let's see. Little boat scene. Made in Germany. But I'm not sure where we're at. I don't see a location for it. A little coastal scene, boardwalk type of thing. Printed in Germany, like I said. Undivided back, though they turned it into a divided back. Cool. Got some birds, lots of happiness. Though the lots of happiness part is taped on. That was not original to the card. Actually, this whole thing looks like a homemade card. Yeah, the birds, it's all like a decoupage kind of thing now that I'm looking at it. Like they cut it out of a magazine or something like that and stuck it on. And there's the back, which is like a hand-stamped kind of back. So, looks like a homemade card. Schroeder, 7 of 80, it looks like. So, limited production run. It's neat. This might have been associated with like National Postcard Week. Something like that. Which is coming up beginning of May. May 3rd through the 9th. So I'll have a few videos about National Postcard Week when that gets closer. All right, a banyan tree, I believe is how you pronounce that. Person sitting under there. That's all we got on the back. Sent from, let's see, cancellations Jamaica. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's take a quick pause. Garak.
That's so cool. That's awesome. Here's that backyard area.
All right. Well, you can see Garak is feeling playful, so that's a well-timed break. He's actually stolen my chair, which is why I'm standing at the moment. Do I have? I still have my sticker on. Eh. All right. Anyways, moving on. We got a foreign card here. I'm not exactly sure where. Something European, obviously. Looks like perhaps the Alps, but um, there is certainly plenty of writing here that'll help me identify it once I do a little Google Translate. Undivided back on that one. I like these floral greetings. There's a whole um, there are tons of different kinds. A lot of time you see them with blue forget me not flowers, but they're floral designs that the flowers make um, images, shapes of things. So in this case, we have a bell, purple bell, hearty greetings. My chair is back. Yes. Embossed, as you can see there, but unused. All right, so this one's got the blue forget me nots. It's sort of a mix of the floral and gold gilt design here. Best wishes, a little bit of edge wear, but that's fairly common with these type of cards, especially since it was used, postally used, Albany, New York. Hop and a skip from me, 1908. It's pretty nifty there. I can usually get maybe $10 for those. I'll look them up just to be sure that there's nothing more interesting or more specific about these two varieties. And then I'll read this message as well. Sometimes the message adds a few dollars. All right, this just says Arab Village Marketplace, so presumably something Middle East, somewhere in the Middle East. Oil lead. Are you a tux? Doesn't say it's a tux, but has a tux vibe to it. It almost feels like a reproduction kind of card. Like you can see where it was cut out of something, like a book or something of the sort. It does have a pretty sizable crease on it as well. The subject matter is a good one or a decent one. I'm not so sure based on condition, but we will see. Got a location there. I'm not sure where we are exactly. But religious statue, presumably of some sort. Does say Zurich on the back, but that could just be where it was produced. All right, keeping with the religious thingy, my guess. Painting of some sort. I don't know exactly what's going on, but we've got the cherubs flying, big old scallop shell. They're having a time. I think they might be having a time as well. Anywho, we'll just move on from that for now because, well, this is not I never claimed to be a child-friendly channel. View of Western North Carolina, good roads in the heart of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Fairly generic. Probably a lot of those out there. Probably a $5-6 card. All right, some more floral greetings. Let's see. Loving Thought. Embossed, used on the back. 1911, it looks like. Pansy, Thoughts of Thee, little flower series. Also embossed. So we're in our flower phase, our flower era, or something. Got some lilies there, lily pads used as well. It's got another Easter vibe to it. Looks like some colored eggs with purple flowers. This is not actually a postcard. This is more of a trade card of sorts. But a word about bread. The Fleischmann Company in New York City. So, if you want to learn about some bread, there you go. I don't do a lot of trade cards, but I should. I have a stack. I just haven't got around to them. That is not English, so I am not certain. I will Google Translate that, but I presume some sort of poem. The landscape there. All right. A little bit of comics. Not my favorite type of stuff, but this one at least has a dog on it. Where are you going? I don't know. Ask the dog. If you've ever walked a large dog, then you understand that quite well. So as far as comic cards. That one's pretty good. Hancock, New York, 1916. A little remembrance card, another poem. Dear Earl, thank you very much for your pretty postcard. Your loving teacher, Betsy. Your loving teacher. Let's see. Got some birds and flowers. God's blessing be. Most of these albums have big chunks of these more generic greeting cards, but they do fairly well. They're not high dollars on their own, but people tend to come in and buy 3, 4, 5 of them at once. All right, looking toward Piazza at Eddy Farm. Not sure if I'll be able to narrow that down any further. I will look at it closer. Made in Germany. Another comic card, Last Chance Motel. Self-explanatory, I suppose, but he's walking on water. She seems uncertain about it. Some of the early Steam fire engines. I actually just sold a fire engine card and put it in the mailbox today. That one was from Flint, Michigan. Not sure where this one is from, but you can see some of the early firefighting equipment, and they're putting out an active fire there. So let's see, postcard collector, Cunningham. So it looks like it might have been more of a homemade style card. But it's interesting nonetheless. There's probably not too many of them out there, so good subject matter. That is just a little bit of snow. Thankfully, we have not gotten that much snow this year, though it did just snow like a week ago, even like 2 days after it was 80 degrees out. Spring in New York, and spring in a lot of parts, a lot of places. It's not just New York, but spring is one of those just back and forth, back and forth. You want to be out in the garden. I've done a little bit of gardening, but a lot of it still has to wait. Anyways, a lot of snow in Lassen Volcanic National Park, California. I have not been to that park, though it's on the list. Souvenir of October 1909. And Beaupré, I'm assuming France or Belgium, something of the sort. But church procession, it looks like. Not a real photo. But anyways, a little bit of writing on the back. Quebec, yeah, could be a Canadian card, actually. French Canada. Oregon Trail. Who played Oregon Trail growing up? Love that game. Streetwater, Wyoming. Different kind of back on this one as well. Ezra Meeker historical postcard for schools, libraries, and home collectors. Interesting. Let's see. Another fire engine on parade in New York City. 1905. Well, 1905 is the copyright. 1907 is when it was sent. Madison Square Station is the cancellation. All right. Looks like some sort of military radar plane or of the sort. Yeah, AWAC. There you have it. Military plane. I'm not up on my planes really, but they tend to have a decent collector base. But they're usually fairly common cards. Got a cave, like the caves, but again, there's a lot of the cave cards out there, so they don't typically move that quickly or for that much. But this one appears to be a foreign card, so it might be a little more interesting on the U.S. market, or at least less common on the U.S. market. Generic river scene, undivided back. Some sort of quote from P.T. Barnum. You can read the whole thing. Looks about teaching or something. But some typography on display at the Circus Hall of Fame. Interesting. Got some coinage. Not sure what kind of coinage, but coinage nonetheless. Looks like it's hand signed on the side there. Nemesis card. So good for all the coin collectors, I suppose. Nice little wallpaper style pattern. Yeah, I don't know. Not much to say about that. Artsy, probably not too expensive, but there might be something interesting in the message. First day of issue, we got looks like to be a bighorn sheep. Yep, I've seen some bighorn out in the wild. Had I was at Glacier National Park in the parking lot, and they just came like charging through the parking lot. It was interesting, but I've also seen them, out on the rocks and things like that. Looks German or Austrian, perhaps, but some sort of church or lighthouse kind of situation going on here. A little winter scene. Got a sunset, presumably on the water. Tropical Florida. All right. This one is interesting. It looks like it might be a modern reprint or a somewhat modern reprint. Design copyright is Raphael Tuck, but it doesn't have a tuck back, and it definitely has more of a reprint kind of vibe to it. But I guess a moon smoking a cigar or sun smoking a cigar. I guess sunset on your trouble, and then you got a disheveled looking devil. A little twig there as well, and this is the back, which is what makes me think it's a reprint. But the subject matter is good, so we'll look that one up for sure, and then just price it accordingly for it being a reprint. All right, we'll do this flower one, and then we'll take a pause. Let's see, another greeting. Nothing too fancy on there. It got some gold gilt and embossing. Let's see, from a friend. Cool. Elmore, Ohio, 1909. Let's take another pause. All right, we are getting there. We are on the home stretch, I think. For this section, let's see. Got some buffalo in the Rockies. Nothing too exciting there. Flat iron is a good thing for doing up skirts. I'm sure that's humor that I don't understand, for I do not understand humor. Let me know if you understand it. But anyways, interesting card. Got some gold gilding on it. The border gilding is actually still pretty decent condition. A little discoloration, but not too bad. Sent in April of 19 something, early 19 something, I'm sure. But made in Germany. Typical floral vases here. Not much to say about that one. We do have a little name on the back, but got an embossed rose, pink rose, postally used, very thin paper. Little message on the back. Message tends to save cards like this. Cute little bunny that's just resting, apparently. It's a local view postcard, apparently. Sent 1946 from Delaware, it looks like. This one actually looks fairly interesting. I'm not seeing this kind of card before, but it's winter days in sunny Colorado, and Denver University football field is on the front, and clearly very early football, which could make it pretty good. And then we got coaching over here and a drive to the foothills. So little puns in there too, football puns. I'm not sure if that's intended or not, or just something that sort of you can play around with. But anyways, April 24th, 1908, with a super long message that you have to flip it upside down to read it all. But we'll take a look at it. There could be some good little tidbits in there. Feel free to pause it and read it if you like. All right. Oh, I'm a little out of order. Where did that go? Anyways, we got the Bethlehem women. I'm not sure where my physical card went, but Bethlehem women here. A little child with them. Looks like they're doing tea or something of the sort. That's the back. All right. Into some birds. It doesn't say it on this one, but it looks to be the same as the ones coming after, which are all the Peterson series. And actually, now that I look at it closer, it looks like Peterson may have been written right down there and got cut off. But we got a cardinal, a mixed colored cardinal. Let's see. Little red bird, not sure what you are. Okay, we're a Tanger? Tanner? That bird. Red cardinal. Looks like a finch, maybe goldfinch. Are you goldfinch? Prairie warbler. I'm not great with my birds, obviously. A little discoloration on the corners of this one. It was clearly well, obviously it was in an album, but it was in a different album prior to the album I took it out of, because that discoloration would not have come from the album I took it out of. But anyways, postally used there. Another little red bird. White-winged crossbill. What are you, a bearcat or a wolverine? Wolverine, okay. I'm pretty sure I've had this card before, but W.A. Weber, artist. Same mark here as the Peterson bird, so it's going to be same production company, the National Wildlife Foundation, or Federation, rather. Right, so then we get into some floral. And this one, I believe, is it looks like a Thor Geiger card. And you can see the name on the back there. Swiss card. I've had a lot of these in the albums, and I've sold quite a few of them. Typically like $650, $750 each, maybe a little more, a little less if it's depending on how common that particular image is. But when I've sold it, I've had people buy multiple at once, like I mentioned earlier, which is very good. So passion flower, I think, yeah, blue passion vine. And then this one doesn't have the Thor mark on it, but it's another Swiss production, some sort of cone flower, I think, or aster. I'm not sure if aster counts as a cone flower, but pretty anyways. Then we get to travel off to Ukraine. I don't know if it quite translates on the screen, but it's really very vibrant blue on that card. And it looks to be maybe like a modern homemade kind of situation, because on the back we got it really kind of looks like it's out of a printer kind of thing. But St. Michael's Golden Monastery in Kiev, Ukraine. This one I like a lot. I'm very big on the airbrushed cards, and they come in varying degrees. Some are certainly better than others. This one I think is fairly well executed. I do notice with a lot of the airbrush cards, and it could be just an age-related thing, but a lot of the airbrush cards you do see this discoloration on the sides. But this one's a nice purple floral vase, heavily embossed. I do find the embossed airbrush cards, which, to be fair, most of them I think are embossed, but the heavier embossed ones do tend to hold up a little better. I actually just sold 3 floral embossed cards today or last night, overnight. They're going to Nepal. I think they were my first time shipping to Nepal. I've shipped myself to Nepal, but that's different. So that's back that one. Many are called, but few get up. Sounds like a wonderful thing. I've been working a lot of 5 a.m. Shifts, which means 3:30, 3:45 wake up call to feed the cats, get ready, all that stuff. Little motto cards. Probably nothing too crazy there. We got some rock clocks. I like rocks, but I'm not really a clock person. So this will not stay with me, but Hobby Rock Shop in Redbud, Illinois is the back of that one. This one's cool too because it does tell you the type of rocks that each clock is made out of, each road, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's a nifty little one. Another comic card, get 'em up. I'm not sure if the guns are pointed where they're pointed on purpose and that's the whole joke, or I'm assuming that's the joke, the way everyone's looking, but again, I don't have a sense of humor apparently. Postally used on the back. Take a friend's advice and get 2. It says a sale of bassinets on the back, so I'm assuming it's a reference to that, but children, babies, I don't know. The men have some creepy expressions going on, and the woman's just chilling. There's the back. Someone thought it was funny back in 1908, apparently. All right, just a little art scene here, romance art scene, little waterside cuddle. We do have an artist signature here. Not sure what it is off the top of my head, but we'll see if we can figure it out. Looks Italian. Another comic card making lots of hay, and obviously the hay. There's no stopping me now, and the horses are enjoying it as well, apparently. Bird of Paradise, fairly common card. See this fairly frequently. Hawaiian card, I believe. Oh, Florida, sorry, my bad. But yeah, it's one of the H.S. Crocker cards, fairly common. Also, Desert Roadrunner, fairly common. I'm not sure if I've seen it with this particular printing before. I've seen this image before, but I'm not sure the King of the Road, Desert Roadrunner printing there. But in any case, fairly common. Probably $4 or $5, if it even sells. But Palm Springs, California, is the postal stamp there, or postal cancellation, maybe. Sent to Delmar, New York, just a hop and a skip. All right. Artwork, or a postcard of artwork. It's Norman Rockwell. Guy carrying a mermaid in a basket, I guess. Fishing, like it looks like a lobster basket kind of thing. And okay, so it's an advertising piece for the Festival of Arts and Pageant of the Masters in Laguna Beach, California. Some more art. Same idea. Another Rockwell. Same advertising. All right, we'll finish up with some Continentals here, and then I got one ephemera piece, non-postcard ephemera piece to look at as well. So we got a panda bear. I wanted to say polar bear, but yeah, giant panda. Pandas have a decent following. I don't sell them crazy fast, but $5 to $10, depending how common the view is. Looks like we might be in Chinatown. Chinatown, Los Angeles, 2004, so fairly modern card. Some more flowers. Got the scientific name there. Some sort of psychedelic art card. Yeah, you got all the information on the back there, so I'll be able to figure it out. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but it is a printed in Mexico card, and I do fairly well with Mexico-related pieces, so that one could have some potential. Some more floral here. This one has a hand-painted vibe to it. That's saying a Chinese color woodcut. I don't think it's. I don't think it's an original, but maybe. I'm not always good with determining those. But sent from Honolulu. You can see the back there, Chinese color woodcut. So I'll look into that one a little bit more. No idea. Looks like maybe a bird sculpture. I don't know. What do we got? That is not helpful in the immediate moment, but it's at least writing that I can try to translate. Made in Israel, so or whatever. That is some elaborate mosaic work. It looks like. Where are we here? Well, there's some information for you if you're interested. Google Translate is my friend with all these foreign cards. Looks like just a generic European card. Nice, I'm assuming enameled box. But anyways, a nice pretty box on postcard here. Lacquer box, okay. That's that. I think we saw the same markings on the back on our previous one recently, but yeah, another Mexico card. Yeah, it's the same back as that psychedelic looking one. So that's good. I'll list those around the same time. All right, and then the last postcard, we end with some roses here. But again, I do have a non-postcard item here. So, public school souvenir from the, let's see, Fall River Valley Public School District. Not sure exactly where that is. I presume New York, just because of where I, bought the albums from. But I will figure that out. May Biggs teacher, independent hall, and so this opens up. But here's the back on it first. Someone was trying to sell it for $1 at some point, and just a little saying in there from a teacher to a student, my dear pupil, yada, 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 yada. Very close with their student, apparently. And then opens up some more pages, so gives you an idea of here are the sides. So it's almost standard size postcard size. And see, it's held together with a little bit of twine there. And then has a final page there. So I have no idea what a value for something like that might be. I've not had one before, so we will find out. And that's just the backs, the front and back cover all together. So that's it. That is album 24. Let me know what you think, what your favorite item or items are in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share, all the things. And most importantly, never stop exploring. Thanks for watching.